the government, like, they know what they want to enforce and what they don't want to enforce. Like, say, like, child porn. Like, they don't allow that to happen. You know, they got a big clamp down on that. And, like, they don't let the child porn happen. The dog fighting, they got a big clamp on that. The Michael Vick had to take a lot of heat about
I think, which makes me think that human beings, they care about, well, especially in the United States, they care more about animals than themselves. Maybe that's why they allow, like, cage fighters to fight like that.
I mean, it depends on the animal. It's mainly like dogs that the U.S. loves.
Yeah, mainly dogs.
It's mainly the dogs. Like, they love dogs more than they love human beings. That's what I see. Like, they have more compassion towards dogs, like dogs and children, and women. You know, but like men, they don't let them kill each other. You know, but you know, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot worse out there than what the hell the cage fighting stuff. It's just like, it's just a bunch of people doing like irresponsible sparring.
Yeah, that's exactly what I see too.
You know, it's just like dangerous sparring. You know, I mean, it's not. There's a lot worse out there, like way worse. You know, I mean, and that's what the government's trying to like. They got their focus on like those like school shootings, and like the whole thing with the airport thing. I mean, it's like you can't even go through the airport without getting a bunch of security checks. I mean, they take that stuff like very serious.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
you can make jokes about like a lot of things too. Like on the airport, if you make joke about they'll probably see you as maybe some sort of terrorist.
Yeah, I mean, like there's certain things that they take very seriously, and you know, the cage fighting is just like, to them, it's just like, if these idiots want to be idiots, just let them be idiots. That's kind of what they they want to be idiots, just let them be idiots, you know. So they don't really care about it. But the only reason why I care about it more than the government, because I care about martial arts.
Exactly.
So it's like I become the government. You know what I'm saying? I'm like doing what the government's supposed to do. You know? But the government's like, you know, they don't care about martial arts. Like, you know, they care about their dogs more than they do about martial arts. So if there's a bunch of dog fighting going on, oh, they'll be like, oh my god, like such a huge uproar. You know what I'm saying? But it's not dogs. It's humans doing like this so-called martial arts. They don't care about that. That's why they just let it slide. They don't care about martial arts.
Yeah, and you know, there's something I can't stand about people who support that stuff. Okay, you want to support it, fine. I'm not gonna bother you. Do what you want, but don't tell me, oh, stop saying negative things about Friday. They're doing what they can. They're better at what they do. Just leave them alone. You're only saying that because you want to be entertained by them. So don't try to act like you care about them, because you don't.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, man. Like I'm starting to like try to like not like basically put them like I'm like to not
be overboard with it.
Like just to not like put too much energy into it anymore, because it's just like, you know, as long like, because basically I don't need to like pay attention to it. You know, I don't need to watch it. I don't need to support it. I don't even need to talk about it. You know, and like I talked a lot about it, but like I said, there's so much worse in this world. Like for example, you know, there's like, you know, gun shootings all the time over by where I work, and that's a huge problem. That's a lot worse than what we're talking about, you know. So, I mean, there's a lot worse in this world, basically, and it's like, it's almost like people smoking. Like, it's not gonna stop. Like, people are gonna smoke. Well, as long as I don't inhale the smoke, it doesn't. As long as it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect my kids, doesn't affect my family. Like, okay, they smoke. A lot of people drink and drive. That's horrible. You know, like But what am I supposed to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they want to do, okay? A lot of people want to smoke crack. You know, I mean, there's people that do, like, a lot of crazy stuff. And this is just one of them where it's just like, I don't agree to it. You know, but, you know, it's just, I don't think I gotta, you know, I think I want to put less, I want to try to put less time, like, my energy into it, basically. I want to try to put less of my energy into it.
I was talking to one of my friends about cage fighting and how much it upsets me. And I think he says something really important. You know, he asked me, what do I want out of the martial art? Do you value, like, respect, loyalty, and honor, and health? If you value that, you rather focus on that instead. And he says that, you know, sometimes we focus on what we don't want because, you know, we don't, as people who train in the real martial arts, we don't like what's going on in the world right now. We don't like the fact that there's so much injustice. And sometimes if we keep focusing on that, it cannot be it's not a very good thing. It can lead to it can make you waste your time instead of actually gaining time. So what I want to do is like actually focus on my own development. As someone who trains in like martial arts, I want to become like a real martial artist. So, and just that Gandhi would say too, that I feel like, you know, you have to be the change you want to be in the world, you know? I mean, and just like, I think I like the way FMK is, you know, it's just being a different way of seeing the martial arts that a lot of people don't see. So I think that the way we represent martial arts, we want to represent it in the, like to be like the ultimate. We basically want to be the ultimate human being. And I think that's what the martial arts should lead us to, you know, to be strong body, mind, and spirit. So I think that if we focus on the cage fighting too much, it's not gonna be good for the school, you know. I mean, that's my opinion about it.
Yeah, man,
I'm not for it, but
yeah, I'm trying to like I said, not put as much energy into it, like stuff like I want to put more energy into stuff that will really like benefit people, you know, like helping people, you know, like get healthier, like you know, eat healthier, how to be less stressed out, you know, like these problems with pornography and relationships, how to understand that more. Like just focus on other areas of life. Like cage fighting is just a little, it should be a smaller aspect. You know, like if I got 10,000 videos, you know, there should be like maybe less than 500 of those should be like about cage fighting. And then all the other videos should be about other stuff. Just basically more like variety of videos rather than focusing and honing in on just one thing that's really not that big of a deal. Like it's just, like I don't want to like overemphasize it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not good, you know, it makes, you know, because I'm starting to read some, you know, I'm starting to read again a little bit more and just like reading some books with Osho, and he's just like reminding me, you know, it's like, you know, it's like when you keep speaking against stuff, it almost makes it seem like you're jealous and stuff, you know? And yeah. I don't want to like, I don't want to be that. Like I don't like you can't, like you can't be too much against stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just let the world be the way it's gonna be, and then just kind of like I said, focus on your own development and just then try to like live through your own example of how the way things should be. You know, like a lot of people, they smoke. You don't gotta smoke. A lot of people drink. You don't gotta drink. A lot of people you know, have one night stands. You don't gotta do that. A lot of people go to the bar. You don't gotta go to the bar. A lot of people do the MMA. Well, you don't gotta do that. A lot of people watch MMA. You don't gotta watch. A lot of people, you know, watch stupid movies like that Kick-Ass movie that you didn't like. Well, you don't gotta watch that movie. You know, it's like,
I didn't
like,
have to.
like a lot of people, like they You make your own decisions in life. There's a lot of people doing stupid stuff out there. Go ahead, let them do it. A lot of people want to be obese. All right, go be obese, but I'm not going to be obese. Okay? A lot of people got diabetes. All right, you could go ahead and get diabetes, but I'm not going to get diabetes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to drive cars everywhere. Well, I don't like to do that. I'll do something else. So, I want to try to have more of a mentality where I let the people do what they want to do. But as far as what I'm doing, I'm not doing what they do. Like, yeah. I do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, that's basically what it is. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like being like, oh, these people are evil or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, you know, they like to do that stuff, go ahead. But at the same time, I want to communicate to the public, like, what I believe martial arts really should be. And that's, you know, I want to communicate that vision. And even the government, you know, we're talking about the government, they pretty much support my vision in a way because, you know, for the concealed carry license, for example, they're really strict with their guidelines as far as, like, responsibilities involved. Like, they're like, you know, you're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to take any drugs. You're not allowed to be, like, in jail, like, arrested for, like, battery or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of things there's a lot of requirements that you gotta meet just to get that license. You know, so, like, they take it very seriously. Like, when they give somebody a gun license, they take it very serious. And that's, yeah, and that's how I feel a martial artist should be. He should be able to live up to those standards and a lot more. You know, because the government doesn't say that you need to be, like, absolutely fit. But, you know, but for me, I say if you want to be a martial artist, you got to be absolutely fit. Alright? The government doesn't mention anything about, like, knowing about living by Eastern philosophy or knowing about it or, like, knowing anything about Buddha's teaching. But basically, if you want to be a martial artist, you got to know about Eastern philosophy and you got to live by it. You know what I'm saying? And Eastern philosophy, they're constantly talking about, like, learning to understand this ego and not to be a slave of it. Slave from it, not to be attached to, like, worldly things like money and fame and power and all this other stuff. Basically, the teachings are designed to teach you not to be a slave to power, not to be a slave to money, not to be a slave to fame. So basically, anybody that is a slave to that, they're not representing the martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing their own thing. They might be wrestlers, they might be fighters, but they're not martial artists. So basically what I'm trying to communicate is basically properly distinguishing the difference between a martial artist and a fighter and a boxer and a wrestler and a football player. They are not the same thing. And I'm just trying to communicate to them that let's properly label these things. Like, don't call basketball football. And don't call football basketball. They're different. Alright? Don't call a fighter a martial artist and don't call a martial artist a fighter. They are different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just basically communicating the difference between what martial arts really is opposed to what the public thinks it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's not about, like, it's not about hatred. It's just about them, like, misunderstanding, and I'm trying to get them to understand. You know, that martial arts is supposed to lead towards health. How is that person breaking his leg in there? How is that health? You know what I'm saying? How is, like, your whole face turning into, like, a bloody marshmallow? How is that health?
That's common sense, man. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, martial arts is supposed to lead towards health. You know, and these people aren't representing the optimum health. I wanna represent something leading towards optimum health. And that's what I feel the martial arts should be designed for. You know, like, that's what it is designed for. But it's just basically, like, trying to educate the public about what martial arts is. You know, that's pretty much what I'm trying to do, you know? So it's not necessarily like imposing upon people's free will. I mean, the government's there for that. The government does that enough. The government says, you know what, you're not allowed to smoke weed. You're not allowed to drink before the age of 21. You know, you're not allowed to, like, drive your car without a seatbelt. You know, you're not allowed to dog fight. You're not allowed to watch dog fighting. But you're allowed to go to cage fighting. You're allowed to be in the cage to fight, but you're not allowed. But you're not.
Said you allow.
Yeah.
You allow, but doesn't mean you have to do it.
Yeah. So the government's already stepping in between our lives and telling us what we can and can't do. So I'm not here to step in here and say, oh, people shouldn't be doing this or they shouldn't be doing that. All right, you know, do what you want to do. But if you want to represent martial arts, these are the standards that I think you should live up to. You know what I'm saying? That's because basically the government is not here to manage the martial arts. Nobody's here managing it. So I'm stepping in. I'm saying I'm gonna manage it myself, and I say that this is what I think martial arts is. You know, this is what I think it should be what it should represent. Because the government stepping in and saying, because basically, imagine the firearm is representing martial arts. The government stepping in and they're controlling all of that. They're saying, you know what? If you drink alcohol, you're not allowed to have this gun. So this government, they're stepping in. They're setting the standards. You know what I'm saying? They're setting the standards, and you know what? You know, that's what they do. But they don't do that for the martial arts, you know, but they do it for the military, they do it for the firearms, they do it for law enforcement. But for the martial arts, nobody's there setting the standards. So I'm gonna set my own standards. And I'm gonna go beyond the standards of the government. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go beyond.
Even the military himself, to get in the military, you know, you have to not you don't want to have a lot of alcohol in your system either, because they want to make sure that they're turning someone into they're turning the right person into a soldier. They don't want any soldier in their team. Yeah, they don't want a soldier who's gonna randomly kill people because it feels like it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's that.